With the recent wildfires in the western part of the state, some pond owners are wondering what the impact is of ash washing into their pond. I have not seen this to be a major cause of mortality of fish. It's possible, but not terribly likely. But you might want to keep an eye and see what's happening on your fish populations more closely than usual. This is also an opportunity to consider visiting with your local fire department to see if they have any ideas about how your pond might be better prepared for use as a water source in fighting wildfires. They may need better access, there may be ways to set up dry hydrants, but whatever you do, it needs to be coordinated with your local fire department. Springtime is a great time to be thinking about your ponds. Perhaps you don't spend a lot of time at the pond, and this might be a good way to establish the habit of walking the edges of your pond and looking at the dam and the spillway to see if everything is in good condition or if anything is changing that you might benefit from catching early before a problem develops into a very full-blown and expensive kind of situation. Is your shoreline having any issues with erosion? Do you see any shallowing of the shoreline at any point, any wave erosion going on? On your dam and your spillway, is there any indication of burrowing animals? Now, walking across the dam is the easy way to do it, but if you really want to see what's going on, you need to get down on the face of the dam and walk both faces of the dam to look for signs of burrowing. You can't always see mounds. With muskrat and beaver, they're going to have underwater entrances as they get into their burrowing activity that will be pretty much invisible. So look for any signs of slides or disturbance of the vegetation. And if you see that, you really don't want to let this sort of situation go for several years until you have a very expensive repair issue. The other thing you can be looking for would be plant coverage, aquatic plant life in the pond. We'd like to see, from a fishing point of view, about 20% coverage, 20 to 30% coverage. That's considered good. But if you're seeing a new plant that's coming on fast, or anything that's growing progressively to cover more and more of the pond year after year, try to get after it, get it identified, bring a sample into the county extension office. As you're fishing the pond, if you're fishing your pond, you might try to keep mental notes on what you're seeing. If you see fish that you aren't familiar with, try to get some pictures and get those identified. Make sure that the fish are not becoming overabundant and scrawny, overpopulated fish populations. There are things we can do about that in terms of perhaps adding some additional bass in or doing other things. So take a more proactive approach to pond management. See if you don't enjoy your pond more and find some new uses for it that you hadn't considered.